everyone, I am Gayatri Nirmal and today I am with someone who has left everyone spellbound with her character Faridan. Please welcome Sonakshi Sinha.
Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Thank you. It was amazing to see you. And let's start with the happy intoxicated dance that you had at Faridan's party. Has Sonakshi let herself loose like that anywhere at any party here, abroad, anywhere?
Like Farida, no. I think this is one character where I had to completely forget that I'm Sonakshi. I had to fully become somebody else and this crazy person to say the least. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I've surrendered for the first time completely to a director, and I'm glad that it was Sanjay sir, because I think he really brought out the best in me.
Absolutely, we were so amazed to see that dance. Literally, people are making memes and whatnot out
Yeah, I
of
know.
it.
I'm very entertained by them.
Yeah. So, you know, Bhansali sir's films, they have this one quality, like all his antagonists, he maintains the human quality in them. Be it Vijay Raj and Gangubai or Ranveer Singh as Khilji and Padmavat, they all have a change of heart at the end and they repent. So with Faridan also, it happened the same. Were you expecting another climax to Faridan's character, like, you know, she would have wanted to take the revenge, or the change of heart was a good decision?
You know, the fact that he sort of made her stick to her guns even though she had a change of heart happened because something went against her principles. But when Mallika Jan did offer her the keys, something that she was fighting for throughout the entire show, she says, no, I'll steal those from you. I won't take it like that because usme maza nahi hai. So she really stuck to what she stood for and she stood her ground, and I love that about her. And even though she's a woman who's ruled by all these so-called negative emotions, the beauty about Sanjay sir's portrayal of women in his cinema are very justified, even if the feelings are negative. And that's what I think he did with Faridan as well. You hear a bit of her backstory, how she was sold as a child, her mother was killed in front of her eyes, and that is why she's come back for revenge. And when you think about it, like, it's justified, right? I mean, anybody would do that. Right. So I truly enjoyed playing a character like that, who was ruled by all these bad emotions, but yet such human emotions.
Such human emotions. You know, as humans, like your character Faridan, it's very layered. It of course has been backstabbed and a lot of things. So we as humans tend to get drawn towards the negative emotions and we give into it. So has it ever happened with you that you've given into it and, you know, you've then resented it later?
I think everybody goes through that, right? Everybody has those some few weak moments in their life where they either take a decision that goes wrong for them, or they say something that could have been avoided, that have, you know, sort of broken relationships or whatever. I think everybody goes through that, but I think what's most important is that you learn and move on from situations like that and make sure that you don't fall into it again. Yeah.
Right. So you and Ranveer literally gave one of the best films Lutera of the decade.
And
he has done, yeah, absolutely. And you will also be completing 14 years this year.
Yes, we debuted in the same year.
Yes. So he has done 3 films with Bhansali sir. So did you speak to him before getting into the process of shooting, because just to understand Bhansali sir's style of filmmaking?
I didn't actually speak to him, but I've seen a lot of his interviews and stuff, and every time I've met him, he's always spoken about him so fondly. And he kept telling me that, you know, I'm so happy you're working with Sanjay sir. You see what he does, Sona, tu dekh sir, kya karenge tere saath. And I think he was right, because Sanjay sir really truly did push me to my limits. He challenged me in ways that I didn't know I could be challenged as an actor. And that's how I think he brought out the best in me. And I'm feeling that right now with all the love that's been coming in, you know, for Heeramandi, for Faridan. And I'm so grateful to him for, you know, imagining me in a role that nobody could have ever imagined me in. So, yeah.
You know, in fact, that was my next question, that Bhansali sir as a filmmaker is a perfectionist. He's a mad genius in his own sense. So when you work with perfectionists, it sorts of becomes overwhelming for, let's say, actors or anyone, because as actors, you all have the process of changing your style with different filmmakers for different films. But with him, he's a perfectionist. So does it get overwhelming? And somewhere, you know, that particular scene where he pushed you, and then, you know, it got the best out of you.
I think it took me a while to realize that, because I've never worked with anyone like him. His eye for detail, the attention he gives to each and everything, like even this frame or this plant is something that he'll look at with such, you know, like with a magnifying glass, and that is something that only he will notice. A normal person will not be able to notice these small intricacies that go into making a frame look like how it looks in a Bhansali film. Once you understand that, you realize that it's his vision, and now you just have to surrender. Because even as an actor, on you, right from your shoes to your costume to your jewelry to what makeup you're doing, what your hair is going to be, he takes care of everything. He gets into everything, and that's when you realize that nothing is in your control. Now it's all about you being an actor who is executing this person's vision, and you better do it well. Yeah.
You just submit it.
Yeah.
Can we now expect a collaboration with you and Bhansali sir for a movie?
I would love to. In fact, I keep telling him, sir, आप मेरे पास बहुत late आए, because he produced Rowdy Rathod, which was my second film.
Yes.
And you know, we kept trying to do something in the middle, but somehow it never worked out. But right now, after having done Heeramandi and playing Farida, I keep thanking him. I was like, thank you कि आपने ये role करवाया मुझसे, because nothing can match it for me. I feel it's been one of the best experiences. And I told him, now don't wait so much longer to do another film with me.
We would love to see you all again.
Thank you.
Sonakshi, if not Farid, then which character would you like to portray and why?
All the characters are so beautifully written, I think. But if I had to choose, see, how can I choose? I mean, Malika Jan was amazing, Bibbo Jan was amazing, Lajjo was amazing.
Lajjo was amazing.
Yeah, like how do you choose when there's 6 different characters who are given so much importance? Each one has their own arc in the series. How do you choose? I think everybody did their part so well. I wouldn't want to play, anybody else's character, because they've all done such amazing work. So
Absolutely.
I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yes. So you have experimented right from your start of the career, be it romance, you've delved into action, thriller with Dahar, and a period series with Heeramandi.
Yeah.
So what's next? What are the kind of projects that you would want to take, and have you become selective now?
I think I became selective a while back. My entire 20s I worked like a crazy maniac.
Yeah.
I think I did film after film, back to back. The day I turned 30, I think that just changed. I realized that, work is a part of my life. It can't become my whole life. I felt like it was consuming me, and I think that's when I took a bit of a step back and I started being selective. I started doing films that are very different from what I used to. Earlier I used to just do films to fill in my time. Because I didn't want to sit at home, I didn't want to take a break, I used to barely go on holidays. Now I make time for that, because those are the experiences that make you grow as a person as well, right? And I think that makes me a better actor.
Yeah.
When I come back rejuvenated and fresh on a set, instead of just jumping from one set to the other. So I definitely have become selective, and I'm trying to do roles that portray women in a very strong light. I think I have been consciously trying to do
choosing
different
those
roles.
subjects.
Yeah, and different roles from each other, whether it's a XXL or a Dahar. Now Dahar se leke Heeramandi.
Yeah.
Like they're all very drastically different from each other,
Right.
So I'm enjoying that whole thing, and so I'm definitely being selective. Yeah.
Yeah. When you started out with Dabang, which was your debut film, you had a star value attached to your name, and it's there till now. But as an actor or as a person, what does Sonakshi love to be called? A star or an actor, and why?
I love being called Sona. So just call me Sona. But that's the thing. Even when I did start acting, for me, from day one till now, it's always been about the work and doing good work. Everything else attached to it, the fame, the everything that comes in the periphery has never been of that much significance to me, really. I love being on a set. I enjoy waking up and going on a set and being in front of the camera, working with new people, learning from people that I work with. And then I want to come home and switch off from that. So that's always been me. So whether you call me a star or a good actor, I'm okay with both as long as I'm doing good work.
As long as at the end of the day there's someone to call you Sona.
yeah, correct.
Okay. So you being the Dabang girl, how can we not ask you about Dabang 4? So what's on that front? Is the shooting happening?
I haven't heard anything about it actually. So I'm not even sure if they're working on it yet or not, but I read some stuff, so I think Arbaz or Salman would be the correct people to ask about that.
Okay. And the film business sees a lot of ups and downs, and an actor's life is very volatile. You must have had your own share of ups and downs. Did those lows scare you and shook your confidence?
Not really, because I feel I've seen who hasn't gone through the lows, you know. I think that's in any profession, in anybody's life, there's always going to be ups and downs. That's a part of life. And I feel like I've dealt with it very beautifully because I've seen my father go through his share of ups and his share of downs and maneuver his way through them so beautifully and so calmly. And I think I've learned from that, and I think that's really helped me. And I still sort of treat success and failure in the same way. They both teach you something, and in fact failure teaches you much more than success ever can. So you learn from your mistakes and you move on, and you hope to do better in the next one. And by the time you've seen a film not do that well, I've already moved on to my next set. So all my energies are going into making sure that I give it my 100% over there. So not that I didn't in the other one, but you know, by that time you've already kind of moved forward. So that helps. Yeah.
Sonakshi will also be you are completing 14 years in the industry.
Yeah, can you believe it?
14 long years.
God, I can't believe it. Like it just started. What's happening?
Yeah, it feels like Dabang just released some years back.
Doesn't it feel so fresh still? Oh my God.
Fresh.
What is happening, please?
So, what have your learnings been in the past 14 years?
Too much. And I'm glad. I think every day I learn something new, and every time I go to a film set I learn something new. Every person that I work with, I learn something new. And I'm not only saying the filmmakers, it's the ADs, the technicians, people on set. Everybody teaches you something or the other, and I hope that learning never stops, because I feel that's what keeps me going as an actor and keeps me still so excited about my job. Yeah.
My last question is, during one of the Heeramandi premieres, we saw you and Rekha ji engrossed in a conversation. What was it? What would you like to discuss?
I can't. Even when I think of it, I just become speechless. She was so thrilled, and she calls me her second. She tells my mom she's my second mom. And when my mom and me are there together, she tells my mom she's my daughter, she's not your daughter. So she's that fond of me, and she couldn't believe that I had played a role like this, and I had. In fact, she had only seen the first 2 episodes, so she had seen like more of Rehana and less of Faridan at that time. But she was so happy, and she was just showering me with compliments. And you know, her word means so much, because she herself, you know, with her body of work and the diva that she is and how beautiful she is as a person, it just feels so amazing to hear that from someone like her. I was just listening to her. I was awestruck.
What next, Sonakshi? Now this is done. What's next on your bucket list?
I think on my bucket list, like I said, I just want to keep doing things that are different from each other. So that is going to be my koshish.
Okay, thank you so much for talking.
My pleasure too. Thank you.